Hi Gemini, welcome to your mid-April tarot scope and horoscope. I hope you're all doing really well. Ooh, Queen of Swords, wow. Okay, you're right out the bat and you're jumping everywhere. Interesting. Very interesting. Venus is in your sign. Mars is in Aquarius. Saturn is in Aquarius. Ooh, a lot of air energy. All twirling around you and giving you drive and giving you lessons and giving you love. You are going to be the sign in the big picture next month. The energy is already beginning. Venus in your sign. Venus will retrograde for the first time in 2 years, as Venus often does. And it's going to retrograde in your sign. And it's going to give you some re-examination in how you deal with matters of the heart. Ooh, Page of Swords. Strength. Venus will exit your sign in Leo season. And when it does, you will be very different. Your communication will be quite different. The way that you love will be different. In December, the full moon in your sign was exceptionally hard-hitting, and the energy continued into 2020 with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in your 8th house of transformations, of deaths, of rebirths, of depth. And a lot of Geminis feel like they are who they are, and that's, you know that you have the two twins. You know that you have those two distinctive sides that are easier to spot the more you get to know a Gemini, because at first you appear so carefree. But the transformations have been deep, and possibly a lot deeper than you thought they would be, or you thought they could go. With the Queen of Swords, the Page of Swords, and Strength energy, ooh, Ace of Swords, you are feeling as though Venus going retrograde in your sign is either going to reconnect you with somebody, or it is going to pull apart the relationship that you have now. And I think you're maybe afraid of both. I think you're also maybe afraid that in terms of money, if your relationship is rock steady, as it probably is if you're dealing with a Leo, if it's about money, you're very concerned about how maybe a big plan or a pay rise is going to be affected given the way the world is right now. Basically, you're worried about what it's going to do. We'll get more into it in May. But for now, all I can say is examine where you are slightly reluctant to let something in or let something go. If you're reluctant to let something in, Venus retrograde in your sign will tell you why. And maybe you don't even realize that you're not letting it in. If you're reluctant to let something go, Venus retrograding in your sign may very well reconnect you. The water signs in your life are able to shine a light on the emotions that you can't quite understand right now as Venus has gone into shadow. The water signs in your life are able to give you clarity, they're able to give you perspective, they're able to give you some discernment in your decision-making process. Even if you feel like you really want to be hasty, the water signs are going to give you love continuously. Now, if you're dealing with another air sign, there is an imbalance in who is looking after who. There is an imbalance in who is taking the role of caregiver. Someone's quite worn out, somebody's ready to snap. And they will if something isn't offered to them first. If you're dealing with a Leo, ooh, 3 aces. If you're dealing with a Leo, they will support you no matter what, but they would like you to communicate a little bit more about what the next step is. 3 aces. surrounding a water sign. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Ooh, if you're worried about finances this year, things are going to get a hell of a lot better. King of Pentacles. Taurus season is bringing you an opportunity. Most likely in money. Possibly in career. Possibly both, obviously. The two are pretty intertwined, but I think you like it. I think it's passion. I think it's something that is a spark. Something that really lights up your face. Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups. If you are romantically involved with a water sign, ooh. Five of Swords, Four of Cups, Eight of Pentacles just popped out, and the King of Swords is underneath. You have interesting stuff going on with an air sign. Air-on-air relationships are really interesting with Mars and Saturn being in Aquarius. Really interesting, really worth watching. If you're dealing with a water sign though, if it is new love, be careful that their moods at this time are not lower than usual. Keep an eye on the moods of your water sign. They seem to be a bit nostalgic for something, a bit concerned with something, a bit concerned with the way something was vocalized. Keep the communication clear, keep it loving. If it is a water sign that has been in your life for a very long time, they are possibly brooding over an imbalance, and they also want some kind of offer, some kind of apology, some kind of gesture. The air sign relationships though is really where the imbalance comes out, especially if it's an Aquarius. The communication is in need of some tweaking, especially if it's an Aquarius or another Gemini. There is a lot of hope, but there is also a lot of secrets. There's also a lot of hidden feelings, a lot of hidden finances maybe, a lot of hidden decisions. But you're just going to have to ride that one out. Just going to have to ride that one out in the end of April. Because when Venus goes retrograde in your sign, it will all become clear. Now, Venus retrograding in your sign seems to be putting a lot of your focus on how you could make a bit more money for yourself, how you could make a bit more money for your family, and how you could feel a bit more financially secure. You're getting very real about money, and if you're not, Venus retrograde in your sign will show you where your financial habits are a little bit lacking. If you are dealing with another air sign, word of caution, you will need to be very patient and very forgiving. And if you choose not to forgive, I think you will throw yourself wholeheartedly into your finances. For those of you that are thinking of taking up a new area of work, a new skill, but you have rejected it for other people's opinions, or you have rejected it because you thought the competition was too fierce, you will find yourself in a better financial position to go for it by the end of the year, if that makes sense to you. So I'm going to draw an oracle card for you, Gemini. Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing and the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? I do feel like there's something from the past that you're clinging on to that probably resurfaces in May. That's just the way that I am viewing this. I think in terms of certain relationships, you're going to have to really take the lead and speak and direct. And I think for a lot of you, you're probably going to have to issue some form of offer or apology if you want a relationship to continue going or for it to heal. A lot of stuff is crumbling here, but what makes me very, very joyous for you are the three aces. You have the possibility for new emotional connection. You have the possibility for articulating yourself and conducting yourself in a way that you are most impressive. You have a passion coming up. You have an offer of something that really makes you excited. Soulmates. And the garden. So, for a lot of you, you're dealing with very strong soulmate energy. And for many of you with the garden, you're learning to be more of a gardener. You're learning to tend to not only the flowers, but the weeds. You're learning to declutter. You're learning to resoil. You're learning to nurture. You're learning to water. You're learning to connect. You're getting very grounded. I think with all the new seeds that are sprouting up with the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Wands, Gemini, you're being asked to take on a more nurturing role and a more understanding role, and to see where the depth really is with you, because a lot of you feels like it's crumbling away. The walls that you've built up are crumbling away and transforming, and you have to see where maybe you could be a bit more compassionate with the people in your life that sometimes feel a little bit shut out, right? That's what connection is. People in your life do need you to express yourself at the end of April. And a lot of that leads you to something quite sustainable with the King of Pentacles. For a lot of you, you're thinking that by the end of the year, you would like to own property, you would like to own a business, or you would like to be making more. And for some reason or another, probably to do with Venus, but also probably to do with Saturn, you are being offered some kind of opportunity. That full moon in your love sector was illuminating. And now you have the truth. All you have to do is take care of the seeds. Love you guys very much, and I will see you in May. Bye, Gemini.